Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Hurricane HQ. And in this video, I'll be going over the wind threat tomorrow in Montana and how we could be seeing potentially hurricane force wind gusts there in some of those isolated areas, potentially over 80 miles per hour. So this is definitely going to be a damaging event for many in Montana here, especially north central Montana. So in this video, we'll be going over all of the latest models for that wind threat, and we'll also be going over my forecast for the winds and where the strongest of the winds will be located in this event. Now, if we go to our first slide here, you can see this is our current U.S. watches and warnings here, and not too much is currently happening around the U.S. You can see right here we have a cluster of high wind warnings, high wind watches, and wind advisories here, and that is where our main threat is and what we'll be focusing on today. We're going to have gusty winds occurring there, along with the potential for 80 mile per hour winds, which is hurricane force. So we'll be going over that in this video, and then we'll also be going over how those winds could impact your area. Now, we also have a cluster of wind advisories and high wind warnings here in California and Arizona here. So that's something to watch out for as well. Gusty winds possibly up to around 50 mile per hour, maybe higher in some areas there. Could cause some isolated damage, so definitely stay weather aware in California, Southern California, as you could be seeing gusty winds there. We have a pretty large cluster here of flood warnings, river flood warnings, which goes from about Ohio down to Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida. So lots of river flooding is occurring there. We have a freeze warning currently in Louisiana, and that is actually there for the potential for temperatures around 32 degrees or below. So definitely want to cover up any unprotected vegetation outside over there. And then we also want to be careful when driving here in the Northwest, as there is some dense fog advisories issued for portions of Oregon and Washington State. And now as we take a look at our current satellite across the United States here, you can see pretty much clear skies for most people. It ranges about from Maine almost across the entire United States here, clear skies. So today's supposed to be a beautiful day for many, and the only real place you could be seeing clouds is maybe the central U.S. over here, but other than that, beautiful day for many. And now as we take a look at our current weather overview for the United States today, you could see we do not have a lot of stuff that's currently impacting the U.S. No large winter storms or anything like that, but we do have a low pressure system here in Minnesota and Iowa here, and this low pressure system has the potential to bring some light snow to portions of Canada, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, all these areas here. You get the potential for some snowfall, while in Michigan, you actually have that chance for a lot of mixed precipitation there. So you want to watch out for that mixed precipitation chances there. And then we also have that chance for some rainfall ranging from about Virginia down south to Florida. We have the chance for some of that rainfall there associated with this low pressure system right here, just to the north of Miami. And then in addition to that rainfall, we have the chance for some mixed precipitation at those higher elevations, about from Atlanta, Georgia, all the way north to about North Carolina. You have the chance for some of that mixed precipitation and a small area of mixed precipitation in southern New Jersey, Delaware, and Maryland. Now, as we take a look at our day 2 forecast here for our weather setup, you can see a lot more activity, especially on the East Coast. You can see a whole area of looks to be mixed precipitation and or freezing rain, all the way from South Carolina north into, I'd say, southern Maine, especially the coastal regions of Maine. You can be seeing that mixed precipitation, and we also have that snow chance here in portions of Canada, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, and then that also extends into portions of Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan. Basically, all those areas have the chance for some of that snowfall. Now, it doesn't look like there's going to be too much snowfall, but there is those chances for lower visibilities, slippery roads, and all of those other impacts. And now, as we go into day 3 here, you can see That low pressure system is currently moving its way out, and we also have that snow potential again for much of the New England and Northeast. This ranges from about New York State through Maine. You could be seeing snow with mixed precipitation kind of in the middle, probably freezing rain actually now I think of it, and then also the potential for some of that rainfall right here. So that is mostly the coastal region, especially like Cape Cod. You have the chance for some of that rainfall, and those rainfall chances will also go through portions of North Carolina and Florida here. So we do have a lot of chances for rain, especially on day 3. Now we also have another system up here in the north central United States. We'll be bringing mixed precipitation to many, along with snow for many here. So I'd say Michigan and Wisconsin, you have the chance for some snowfall, while in Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota, you have the chance for some of that mixed precipitation, and then a little bit of isolated rain here in the Northwest. And now let's take a look at the current models for that wind threat that I was talking about earlier. You can see we have the European model currently on display, and you can see European model showing very gusty winds, especially in the north central Montana area. You can see right here, 63 mile per hour or higher, possibly in the 70s to maybe even 80s in some of these isolated areas over here. So very gusty winds is going to be a problem, and this is not only a western Montana problem. This is going to extend pretty far to the east as well, probably through central Montana at least. So we do have that chance for some gusty winds, possibly up to like 40 mile per hour for many here. So just make sure you follow all the latest guidance from the National Weather Service. If you do go under a wind advisory or anything like that, definitely follow that advice from the National Weather Service. And now let's take a look at the GFS model, which is actually showing a lot more wind in those eastern areas. Instead of 40 mile per hour isolated, it's showing a lot of 50 mile per hour widespread wind. So that wind threat, according to the GFS, is even higher than what the Euro is showing, and is also showing those pockets of even heavier winds here in that same general region as the Euro is showing. This general region right here is where those gusty winds will be likely be located, and where we have the potential to see those hurricane force wind gusts. And finally, let's take a look at the NAM model, the North American Mesoscale model, which does show the strongest of the wind gusts out of 3 models here. You can see hurricane force 76 mile per hour and higher in some of these isolated areas. So again, we're looking at hurricane force wind gusts for many in this area right here. And keep in mind, this is the same general area as all the other models we're showing right here, which is likely we'll be seeing the gustiest of winds from this event. And the NAM is also bringing gustier winds more east. You can see potentially hurricane force winds in some of these areas here, and even to the west, tropical storm force wind gusts all the way from eastern Montana to western Montana. So this is going to be a pretty widespread wind event according to the North American Mesoscale model. Now, it's unclear exactly which model is going to be right with this case. Any of them could be. There is some agreement where that worst of the wind area is going to be right here. So I'd say I'm pretty confident right here is where the worst of the winds are going to be, because that's where all that confidence is right now at the moment. Like if I actually flip through the models real quick, like for example this right here, they all show that general same area right here. Like if I actually just draw a circle right here and watch this, as you can see, that wind is mostly remaining in the same spot. Across all 3 models, which is a clear sign of good agreement in the models, and that shows that the wind threat is just about going to be there. Now, obviously, it could shift slightly or anything like that, but that wind threat is going to be in the circled region most likely. And I'd say with these events, definitely stay tuned to the National Weather Service in your local area. I believe the local one in your area looks to be Great Falls, Montana. Stay tuned to them. They actually post a lot of good information on the wind threat. They show what areas could be seeing what kind of winds, and what areas could be seeing winds in excess of hurricane force. They are just about the best source for this kind of information. And also stay tuned to those weather alerts in your area. If they do issue a wind advisory or high wind warning /watch, you're going to want to be staying tuned to that just in case there is any updates. Now, I do have an update here. Now, as I'm recording this, they did expand that high wind watch further east. So all of eastern or northeast Montana is also in that high wind watch. So you're going to want to stay tuned to that and monitor the forecasts just about no matter where you are in Montana, as there is going to be a gusty winds for most of Montana, I'd say. Now, let's take a look at my my personal forecast for what could be happening there. You can see this red region right here is going to be about isolated 80 mile per hour plus wind gusts. So I think hurricane force wind gusts are most likely in this red region right here. And this orange region right here is where the 65 mile per hour plus wind gusts will most likely be. And I feel like I might bring that slightly more to the to the east in my next forecast. So maybe slightly more to the east in the next forecast because that wind threat kind of did shift slightly to the east. So in the next update, I will likely move that to the east. But generally, 65 mile per hour plus wind gusts are likely in this area right here. While those hurricane force wind gusts or isolated hurricane force wind gusts are likely in the Great Falls or Helena area, with Billings and Glasgow and Miles City likely seeing the 65 mile per hour wind gusts or higher or lower. Now, obviously, the winds will vary. It's not exactly going to follow these lines. There can definitely be hurricane force winds in this orange region right here. So that's why you should stay tuned to the National Weather Service for those official forecasts and updates. Now, if I move on to our forecast confidence level, I'm putting it at a medium to high, or 60 to 70%. Now, I am pretty confident in the forecast, although I feel like there can be changes overnight. I feel like there's not enough agreement on where those isolated spots will be for those wind. So that's why I'm putting it at this 60 to 70% or medium to high, because there is still uncertainty on where exactly the strongest of the winds will be and how strong these winds will be. So that's why I'm putting it at that, just generally because things can change. Yeah, that's going to wrap up this video. Hope everyone found it informative and useful and enjoyed watching. If anyone does want further information after this, I definitely recommend you either check out the National Weather Service page at weather.gov, or you can check out my website, which is thehurricanehq.org. I have a whole bunch of maps on there. A lot of them I do actually use on my videos, and they do auto-update, so you have the latest information at whatever time you're viewing it. I have winter weather information there, tropics information during hurricane season, severe weather stuff there, and much, much more. And I'm even thinking of adding my own page for my own forecasts. So even if I don't post a video for whatever reason, I can still post my forecasts on there if I ever need to. So if you do want to check that all out, I definitely recommend you that. My Twitter page is at the Hurricane HQ. Whenever I can't post on YouTube, I do post on my Twitter page, and whenever significant weather does occur, I will post on there. So I definitely recommend you follow there as well as my YouTube, just because that's a good place to get some useful information. My Instagram page is at the Hurricane HQ as well, and I'm still thinking of what I'm going to do with it. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but once I do decide that, I will begin posting on that again. And on my YouTube channel is youtube.com/hurricanehq. It's the one you're watching right now. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I definitely recommend you subscribe, because I am trying to reach 400 subscribers by the spring. So hopefully I can reach that goal soon. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, I recommend you like and subscribe to the channel. And also, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, please feel free to throw them in the comment section below, and I will be able to answer them for you. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day, everyone.